Oh my goodness. This is like such a funny moment. Like, there's so much kind of happening right now. It's like, when you've been working really hard at something and you're almost in the end and you're looking forward to the finish line, and then you realize what got you here in the first place. And I'm excited to share something, and I just want to briefly tell you guys this story because I realize how it has affected my life, and also that my story can be a testimony for other people, and that's about anxiety. This is a story about anxiety that I used to have. And when I was growing up, there was just the way that our family kind of functioned and how we lived life. There was a product of situations and circumstances where anxiety just kind of ruled our family, and everybody had their coping mechanism. And mine was just internalizing it. I would have things in my body that would be affected. I would get sick pretty often. I would internalize it. Well, I took a job in college with a company called Southwestern, and I did not know what I was in for when I heard about this job. But there were so many things about it that just began to show me that there was something so different in it. And I wasn't really sure what was going to happen. I actually was very skeptical. But because I kept believing in the leader that had recruited me, his name was Nate Vogel, that I just began to really say, you know what, I'm just going to check this out and see what happens. And so this job was a sales job, but it was actually an incredible product. It was educational software, educational books and software at the time. And now they do education, like training systems and motivation for elementary, middle school, high school kids, and they just do incredible stuff even now. This was 20 years ago, I think. 1992 is when I started working with them. I was like 2 years old, just kidding. But anyway, it was powerful because my manager was so helpful, and then the training that they were doing was absolutely incredible. I would come to my meetings with my manager even before the summer started, and he was just helping me walk through, like, emotionally what I was going through. And I'm sharing the story because I have realized today what a different person I am, and how that my testimony, my story, can actually be victory for somebody else. What I've overcome before can be somebody's rescue plan for now, right? It can be somebody's story of hope. And I want to ignite hope. I really want to be a person that I say, you know what, when you see what is happening now, you have no idea what I've been through and the things that God has brought me through and how I got here. But let me share with you because I want to be transparent. Not that I have it all together. I'm still learning so much. But the things that God has done and what it has taken to get where I am today in a lot of areas actually are very simple things that I wanted to share with you guys. So I wanted to share this with you because it changed my life, really. It really changed my life. And it was about what I thought about, and it's because of what I spoke actually began to change my thinking because I started believing truth. And it didn't matter what my feelings were, even though my feelings are real, they're real feelings. I didn't need to base my actions on my feelings. I need to recognize what was happening and then move past them. But really, like I said, my manager had a huge heart, and the training that he got through Southwestern really brought me some incredible tools at a really young age that now I don't even realize they're just ingrained in me. And one of them, I remember I went to a meeting. I was at the University of Washington. I was in the Husky Union building called the Hub. And I just was feeling all this anxiety. I was in school. I was studying. I was in my first year of university. And I was just having all of this fear and anxiety for, what could happen. And Nate said, let's write this down. Let's write down what could happen. And he had this whole training. He had me read this article about fear. And then what actually happens, what we worry about, and what percentage of it actually happens. And it was like this super low percentage. It was this, I think the article is on mastery and mastering like your thoughts and looking and rationally like thinking about like what possibility is that could happen. And then now, go ahead and writing those circumstances down, the possibility of, and the percentage of them actually happening. And it was a process that really began in me because Nate saw where I was at, and he just said, hey, there is something in this kiddo. And he didn't know me, but he really saw something very valuable. He actually was my manager. Whew. For 13 years. And I've been in Thailand 13 years. So that was 26 years ago, right? Or more. No, because there's some time in there. Because 1992 was more than 26 years ago. Anyway, it was a long time ago. I don't look that old, right? Just kidding. But thanks for laughing with me. But there was something that he was doing in me that really just showed that he believed in me. And I want to share it with you. And it was that process of changing my thinking. And then in changing my thinking, he began to help me by changing my words. And so positive affirmations based on the truth of who I was and my identity. I didn't know then, but I do know now that was a product of the truth of who God had created us to be, because Jesus wasn't our religion. Like, he wasn't a Christian. He's the Christ. He is the Son of the living God. And there's a revelation that comes when we know that, when we stand on that truth, that he actually came. He who knew no sin became sin, so we would become the righteousness of God. He became what we were so we could become who he is, right? So that's what Jesus did. Jesus came to set us free, so we could actually walk in the authority that he carried and live on earth as in heaven. And I want to share some of these declarations with you. This is actually from Igniting Hope. This is a ministry through Bethel Redding. Actually, the leader of this ministry, him and his wife are absolutely incredible. Steve and Wendy Backlund, and there's all scriptures behind this, so you can get online and find it. It's at Igniting Hope Ministries. It's ignitinghope.com. So this is the one that's 25 declarations to increase influence and leadership. So are you ready? Okay, so you can just listen in, and I think you'll really enjoy this. First one is on adaptability. I will thrive no matter what happens. That's my affirmation. Next one is hope. I believe the future will be better than the present, and I have the power to help it so. The first one is from Philippians 4:11 through 13, and this last one I just read is from Romans 15:13, and then Jeremiah 29:4 through 11. So I'm going to read the scripture, and then you read the affirmations, and then you guys can look up the truth to back it up in the Word. Faith. I am thankful that God's promises and my past prayers are working in my life, my family's lives, my circumstances, and my nation. Forgiveness. My intentional forgiveness creates well-being for others and for me. Long-term thinking. My beliefs and choices are leaving a positive legacy for generations to come. So say these every day. Joy and laughter. I have strength and longevity because I consistently activate joy and laughter in my life. Solutions. In every situation I face, I have many options, solutions, and divine ideas. There is always a solution. Beliefs and about others. I see people according to their potential, not according to their past. That's also for you too. Soul prosperity. My response to something is almost always more important than the something. My response. Bottom lining. Even if the worst happens, I will be okay. Training focus. My current challenges and frustrations are my training ground for the greater influence I will have in the future. Peace. Peace is one of my strongest weapons in prayer. Follow through and integrity. I make commitments with forethought and follow through on what I say I will do. Imagination. I use my imagination to activate my faith. Identity. I am not who my past says I am. I am who God says I am. 2 Corinthians 5:13 and Hebrews 10:14. Staying relational. I will not withdraw my heart from people who disappoint me or that I hear negative information about. This does not mean that there are times we won't have boundaries in relationships, however. This is number 17. Forward movement. My forward movement in life causes red seas to part. Courage. I am brave and run at my Goliaths. That's the giants, the big things in my life that it seems like other people can't overcome. 19, authenticity. My authenticity connects my heart to people and gives hope to them. 20, unique purpose. I understand my assignment and giftings, and I know what God's called me to do and not to do. 21, decision making. I am a great decision maker and attach faith to every decision I make. 22, being loved by God. I am unconditionally loved by God and worthy to receive love and blessings today. 23, valuing process. I don't wait for perfection to celebrate myself and be joyful. 24, encouraging others. I radically encourage others daily. Radical love. Amen. And the last one, spiritual laws, number 25. I honor God's spiritual laws. Therefore, I increase in favor, finance, health, and happiness. I'm sharing this because I'm running a coaching program, and we work with 150 coaches, more than that, but all over the world. We've Southwestern Consulting, we've actually coached over 20,000 clients over the last 15 years. And a lot of that comes out of vision planning, and then also what we say to ourselves, and then skills, motivation, and processes. And it's just an incredible company. I'm now coming full circle from that company I was working with. I'm now working with them. They're actually helping I'm partnering them with what we do at Radical Love Asia, which is where I work now, run a ministry in Thailand to prevent trafficking, to empower, to educate children in their identity, equip them in their authority, and then empower them into their destiny. So I would love to partner with you and get you in some of these things. If it's not me as a coach, it'd be one of our coaches, but let's talk about it. I would love to. So thanks for listening. What an incredible opportunity to share with you, and it's going to be an amazing day. So think about those things. Think about how actually the cellular structure of our body actually changes from the things that we speak. Words are so, so, so important because sound waves never stop until they're interrupted by something. And they can be interrupted even by our own thinking because our voice waves are so important. And so I look forward to talking to you unless you get above the snake line. That's like in the mountaintops, there's a snake line up so far as where the snakes actually can't live any higher. And sometimes when you go in flights, if you ever notice, I'm talking about like that spiritual realm higher, when you're up higher in the atmosphere, just things change and the atmosphere changes and you feel your thoughts clear. And it's actually really interesting how it's so important to what we say, because down here in the earthly realm, there's a lot of sound waves all around us. So change your environment around you, change the environment in you. And I look forward to seeing conversations on Facebook, conversations in social media, Instagram, YouTube. So let's have this conversation. But if you want to do weekly coaching, it's actually bi-weekly. And then we actually have follow-ups during the week. We have lots of curriculum that we can use to empower you into what you've been called into, to increase your sales, transform your life, health, all kinds of principles and life tools that are needed. And coaching is amazing. And I would love to get you signed up for coaching or be one of your coaches. So let's talk. God bless you. Have an amazing, 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 amazing day. And remember how deeply loved you are. Thank you for listening.